Ladies and gentlemen, you have decided to come back in and continue this journey of my top five jerseys of each team. I mean, it is my top five, but everybody else gets to have ourselves a little bit of fun and enjoy and figure out what would be your favorite and everything. But we're about halfway home, pretty much, of this entire thing going down, and I actually appreciate all the help and all the stuff of being a small YouTuber. We just recently hit 200 subs. I really wish I hit 2 million, but I'm still well. Anyway, as always, if you've been on this journey since the start of Anaheim and all the way here, because today is those crazy cats from Long Island. It's Long Island, New York, and it's the New York Islanders. And since you've been hanging out with here, there's this thing called a subscribe button. Definitely hit that if you want to be alerted and want to watch any more. And as we continue this journey on, if you want to go back and see all the other top fives that I have done, plus any of the little hot stuff, because we do hot takes, we do the sports takes, the life stuff, the food reviews. We are variety, and we're still young and growing after 18, 19 months. Hang on to the journey and stop in and say hi every once in a while and have some fun and have a little bit of laughter. Now everybody knows about how crazy it is about the New York Islanders. They've been in the league since '72, and they are definitely famous for having that lovable barn known as the Nassau Coliseum. And they've been playing there. They actually played there for a handful of years until a little bit of a history thing. They've been playing there since they needed a new barn. We thought the Nassau Coliseum was going to go down, and then had to fight to find somewhere to play. So they had to borrow and had to talk some people into Brooklyn and have to play in the Barclays Center for a handful of years. And then something's up. And not saying just because I'm a Penguins fan, when Sidney Crosby himself says that's the worst ice I've ever skated on in my life, you probably might want to listen to him. And it was. Nobody, even on the Islanders roster, wanted and hated and liked that 45-minute commute on the subway from Long Island to Brooklyn to play in the Barclays Center. Doesn't matter if it's a $500 million arena. That's basically built for basketball. But in any sense, now they have a brand spanking new arena at the UBS Arena just outside of Belmont, right near the Belmont Park, Belmont Stakes. And some people don't like that either. I don't know why, but it's a weird scenario. So let me just, as I usually do, start every of these videos. I'll just show you what I find everything out here, and that's this thing called the NHL Uniform Database. You get to see all the templates and all the years that they've done everything. All the years are on the left side, and then you get to see all the special stuff that they did down here, and all the templates and all the crazy things that they did. And everybody most remembers there's nothing changed. It's the royal blue and the orange that sets off for Long Island, and everybody remembers. It's as simple. They're about as simple as you can get. I basically just recently got that one just to say I have an Islanders jersey in the collection, but pretty much this is the jersey that they've been growing up. That and the regular white one, they are nothing to it. Navy royal blue, the orange, white on the cuff, orange, white on the bottom, easy. And everybody remembers what they were able to do and win 4 Stanley Cups. They won those 4 Stanley Cups, and as we see there, they won them. They've won them right there: 80, 81, 82, 83. And I'm just doing a little bit of check. They beat the Flyers, the North Stars, the Canucks, and they had one epic one with the Edmonton Oilers on that. And that down the road gave them when they had to do a little bit of a rebrand. If you saw the one jersey that had the 4 stripes on the shoulder, that was to commemorate their 4 cups. They did that down the road, in which they did have to do a little bit of a changeover. But everybody remembers when if you just look there, it was about time in 1995. It was like they weren't kind of selling. It was kind of getting a little old. And what do? You just do an absolute complete. It's not even a mess up or anything. You legitimately became the biggest meme in the entire world of not necessarily the NHL, but most of sports. But people gradually got into it. It's the Fisherman, and there's so many people that got into it, and it's now a relic and a meme type of jersey. But people, they did not like this, but now people will buy because it's definitely a collector item. But the jersey itself, you got the wave pattern on the bottom, and they got rid of that navy, got that royal blue, jumped into the navy blue trim and added a nice little bit of that aqua teal into it. It's not a San Jose Shark teal, but a little bit of that darker tone. And that was as clear as you can get when this went to the darker jersey. And that, I mean, we're talking big time changeover. But the Islanders have had their changes as well. Now I'll just go back and we'll just look. They had that jersey, and they had that jersey for about a handful of years, from '95 to '98, and if I remember, I hope I had the next one. Yeah, they kind of they kind of got sick of it, and they went back to the old circle logo. And they also added the the lighthouse logo on the shoulders. They kind of touched it up a tad. The number logo was definitely a little bit interesting because it had to adapt to the pattern wise. And it was also the '90s. Everyone's finding funkadelic stuff and design work to put in. It was the '90s. We all love the '90s and that. And you know, they've been known to have that crazy funkadelic stuff. Now I go back here and we'll just take a look here. Now they had that jersey in '96 to '98. Then they finally in 1998 they were like, okay, I've seen enough. Let's just go back. Let's just go back to their regular stuff. And they did, but they went to navy blue, and they did the navy blue all the way basically to 2008, in which they finally went back to the royal blue. But they also started getting into that transition starter CCM pro player, and they've had some funkadelic stuff. They even had this crazy funky looking orange jersey. Yeah, they have orange in their original template, but they didn't have navy blue. But when you get that fascinating, just the pointy things in the just the sharp stuff, the sharp design work on the torso going down. Yeah, that is DX written all over it. But it was a fun jersey to have. But did the Islander fans like it or not? I mean, they're not used to seeing orange as their home jersey. But they did have other funkadelic stuff. Like, remember this one? Remember when Reebok had their day when they started doing this? They brought a black jersey in, and it was high school jersey, but then you had all the excess stuff on the bottom. I can't even tell if that's purple. It's still hard to tell, but it was supposed to be blue on the cup with the silver and the orange. You got it down the sides. I mean, that was the start of the Reebok era, and this jersey did all right, but it wasn't accepted to the Islanders hardcore, like everybody knows that they are. So with that said, I mean, with you get this funky thing, and then I go to my top five, and I'll just go right to one of the funky ones that they did. I'll go to this one that they started wearing. Now, this one, I'll go back and find out what it was. It wasn't 2007. It wasn't seven when they started having the block numbers, not the block numbers, but the block sleeves. Because you got the trim up top, you got your four stripes up there. So they tried to do it, not necessarily go outside the box, but it wasn't even like penguin striping down the sleeve. It was different. And it kind of adapted a little bit, but the Islanders were also on that point where we don't know if the team was going to get sold or not. But you put your number on the top, you got your number in the A's here. They weren't ever used to it, but they started doing that. The jersey did all right. Little small stripes on the bottom, but the sleeves was the biggest thing on this one. But I gave this at five because it was very, very different. I like different stuff, and they did all right with this jersey. I will go number four. I'm going to clean some of my stuff up here, and I'm going to go number four, and I'm actually going to go the one they wore when they were in Brooklyn as a third jersey. I'm going to put that NY in. Basically, simply because they don't use anything else. And people remember Jay-Z is also shareholder of the Brooklyn Nets. He has partial ownership of the Barclays Center. And they like, hey, you're playing in Brooklyn. You're going to play in this house. Give them a black jersey. I think that's as simple as you get. Simple three stripes, four pinstripes, and the NY logo with a little bit of the orange. That's a little bit of essence. Not too much detail on the collar. Black jersey. It's almost charcoal, and it did not do too bad. But for the time they were in Brooklyn, I think they wanted to kind of push the forwardness with Brooklyn, with the Brooklyn Nets moving from New Jersey to Brooklyn. They wanted to kind of had, hey, you're going to play here. I'm going to give you a black jersey, and it worked for a time frame. But it's not a bad collector. So if you're an Islander fan, it's like we didn't like playing in Brooklyn, but it was a nice jersey. It was a good jersey. It was part of our history. It has to be. I'll put that at four. Number three, I'm going to go the if I remember, this is the second reverse retro. The only changes to this, basically, they didn't really want to change over to any other bright I figured this out. They really didn't want to go teal. They didn't want to go orange, but they also didn't do the wave pattern on it. Nonetheless, they brought the fisherman back, and it blew up. I mean, just because of the push after after COVID, they had another jersey to wear, and the Islanders fisherman came back. And when it comes back to a full fledged, people remember it, and they know they don't have to like it, but they remember it. And it was nice to see the fisherman come back. In the way it was, could have been better, but in a sense, it was 1,000 times better than that first reverse throw that did. It was basically the navy. It was basically all it was that jersey in navy blue. I did not put a picture of it, and they didn't. It looked like it didn't even try, and I didn't even put that in. So I put this at 3, and well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this in 2, and I'm going to put the other NY jersey that they did, except that I had just, it's the current one they have. I think they no longer use this now. And, the block coloring with the white, that stands out. Small striping on those, or you got the big numbers on the biceps, on the tri, no striping on the cuffs, small things small stripes on the bottom, just the NY. That's all you need. That is all you need for Long Island. You know your colors. I like this one. If I could have found this one first before that one, I would have bought it. I will also give you a little bit of sense that I didn't put the first reverse retro, and I did not put the Stadium Series because I still think the Stadium Series was one of the. Well, I did not put that one there, although I like joking about it. People will still find that. Number one is as simple as it could be. I'm actually going to go the white one. And the white one is what I remember watching when I saw them win Stanley Cups. I saw them win that Stanley Cup against Edmonton, and I actually saw them vaguely against like some of the other ones, like Vancouver, Minnesota, and all that. But it was the white. This is the guys that I remember seeing with Mike Bossy, John Tonelli, Brian Trache, Coach Al Arbor. Um, uh, I mean, the list is right here. All of that. Mike Bossy was on those teams. Billy Smith was the goaltender. Glenn Healy came in there later. Those were the teams. Those were the players that they were just killing it. Pat Fontaine was also had that big run when he was there back in the day. The white jersey stood out, and that's all it was. You know, the orange and the navy of the New York Islanders. And a lot of people, like the Mets, have navy and orange, but I think they have royal blue and navy. Actually, they have royal blue, kind of like this, because it's kind of what New York's colors are. But in a way of speaking, for the Long Island people, you have your own identity, and they try. And I will say this in every other video when it comes to these jerseys: you don't like anybody in your division. The Islanders, Rangers, Devils do not like each other, but they have to share fact with the Capitals, with the Penguins, with the Flyers, right in that Metro division. And Carolina and Columbus are sitting there going, whatever. But the Islanders, they're legendary for that dynasty they had in the early 80s. And jerseys will always be iconic for Islanders, whether it's the Fisherman or whether it's that thing back there. What's your favorite? Do you like the Fisherman? Did you remember all these? Whatever you do, put a comment in, chuck a like if you like the video. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go do something fun. I think you should go and do something fun. Until then, the bar is closed. And yeah, that's the Islanders. And if I recall, yeah, this jersey, even the white one, yeah, that's and that's the Islanders. That's what I remember. Until the next one.